I don't know why I'm counting down. Oh, wait, we're live. Hey, I'm Zach Sloan.
And I am Ann Luna. And we are here. And this is the Break Free vlog, mostly
I've
vlog.
mostly vlog, less blog. And I forgot to say this in our last video. I suck at this. I'm bad at indie. Will you please subscribe? Notification bell. I feel so dirty. But anyway,
But we do appreciate your support. You're following us. It helps us out. And yeah, we do appreciate your time and attention. So
yes, that mostly, and also it gives us an excuse to hang out here. Um, So Ann and I are talking about song arranging for you songwriters out there and what arrangement means. So the way I like to start off conversations is, Ann, what does song arranging mean to you?
I like that. So no. So for me, that means once I've got this little seed or for the song, what do I want to do with it on making it shine as best as it can? And so it's kind of like I've got the jewel, what's the setting kind of thing,
Oh, I
and
like
how am I
that.
polishing that? So and so I look at different kind of tried and true techniques of here's where we build it up and here's where we bring it down, that kind of stuff. And if you're layering instruments, if you've got sparse intros, if you break things down for a chorus, if you build things up on a bridge, that's kind of what I'm looking at is how do you um, feature all that is that song to make it shine the brightest, or how you want it for that particular arrangement, because inevitably if you spend time with it and take it to other people, you're going to rearrange things. So yeah.
And I think what you said there, you said something when you were like building it up and breaking it down, and you were being sort of facetious about it.
But it's true. Well, I was thinking of Fly to the Concords, and yeah,
This is where
we break it down. Ooh.
I love that song.
That's what I was thinking of. So for you who were able to read my mind and
Is that
know what I
business
was
socks? Is that what that is?
and so now I can't even think of the song that it is. But no, it is not business time. It is a different one. I
Okay.
think maybe.
I don't know.
Oh,
I like Flight of the Concords, but what Anne was like joking about, but was actually very accurate with there is that dynamics I think are the most important part. And
right.
as you can tell, my studio space is a wreck behind me because I've been recording people recently, and I just haven't put everything away. But the most common thing I deal with when I'm working with an artist is they'll be like, my songs sound boring, and then I listen to the songs. It's not because the song is bad. It's just because dynamically it's the same. That it starts at one level and it's that entire time. And I'm like, you gotta break it down. You need to have either a verse that's quieter or a verse that's louder and a bridge that does something different. Otherwise, it's just
Exactly.
for 4 minutes and people
And
just tune out.
it's one of the simplest and most effective tools as when you're arranging songs.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would suggest listen to a song that you really love and listen what they do with dynamics.
When I'm recording people, I say, what types of songs are inspiration? Like I was working with this fantastic female pop artist. She loved Taylor Swift. So we would just have Swift records. Like I own most of Taylor Swift's albums, all but one actually. But we would listen to them. I'd pull them up on Spotify or put the CDs in, and I'd be like, okay, let's see what she does, and not copy it, but just be mindful that that's what you're going for. Have that in your sights, And so for her, it was like I needed some more electronic instrumentation from time to time, and I also need to strip it way down and do just like a piano vocal thing. I was like, okay, cool.
Right.
As opposed to everything being like an acoustic guitar and strumming. So I think what Anne said there jokingly is 100%. On point. I think the second thing that I would caution people against is make sure your verses and your choruses are different.
Right.
That could be volume, that could be instrumentation, that could be melody, chord changes, something. Even if you have the same 3 chords through the whole song, they need to be distinct somehow. And Anne and I are from very different worlds. I'm from more pop and rock background. She's from more of a folk bluegrass background. So I want to ask you, Anna, in a folk bluegrass setting, how do you make sure that sections of songs are different?
And so it's similar, I think, in other types of music, because just like anything, there's some that the chord progression is the same the whole song through. But for your chorus, you might, the melody is usually going to change, you know. Often goes to the four chord. But, um, anyway, and so if you're thinking of kind of this rise in intensity of energy and sometimes pitch and things go higher, uh, so there's different things like that. Or um, there's more harmony, often on a chorus.
Oh, I like that. That's a good idea. I think that
So
makes sense.
that's kind of a good way too, because I guess ideally, really, if you're kind of writing things that you want people to sing along with, that's what the chorus is. I mean, it's what we remember. And so you're wanting a chorus that people can grab onto and they'll start singing with you, if not by the end of, the first chorus, by the second chorus, And so a lot of times people are like, oh, I got it now, because you're wanting people to join in.
Mm.
So, yeah. So a lot of times the chorus, to me, sometimes the lyrics there may not necessarily be as clever. Maybe there's a really clever hook line, but it's pretty simple. It's something people can catch on to right away.
Break free, right? Like,
That's right.
no, I don't mean that as a joke or a knock. Like, I think that's a great
It's
example.
true. But it's true. It's just like, all right, here we go. And whether your chorus is long or short, yeah. Or there's some choruses that are like, you know, just a few words, and it's not very long.
I actually saw a breakdown of like the top of a bunch of pop songs and like what their average reading level was. And I remember one of them, it was a Pink song that I actually really liked, but the average reading level of the song was 0, was grade 0. And I was just like, but as soon as you said maybe the chorus isn't as clever, I was like, you know what, it worked for Pink, and I think she's actually really good.
No, and it works. And so, I mean, yeah, exactly. You're wanting something that's fun to sing along to, even if it's just an ooh and an ah, a la la la,
If it's good enough for the Beatles.
People catch on to la 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 la's,
Well, and I think one thing that you've also sort of made me think of is sort of I've got sort of two parting thoughts on this. One is, what is your audience? Like when you're writing, what is your audience, and are you not necessarily catering to that, but are you at least staying in that ballpark, right? So I was listening to that. But secondly, and the one thing I want Anne to sort of touch on is like instrumentation. How do you build instrumentation throughout? Let's assume it's not just a piano vocal or acoustic guitar vocal, that there is a band setting of some sort.
Right. So kind of going off of your staying true to your audience, or at least acknowledging that, staying true to the emotion and the groove of the song, and this is where your instrumentation, where your dynamics can support that. And so it's like, all right, here's the big fun area, or here's what I really want to say, whether you're saying it really loud or sometimes you drop. And so sometimes maybe just having the vocal or a string section under it, or vocal and piano, but you're wanting to spotlight parts of the song with your instrumentation.
And Anne just described every Adele record. And I don't mean that in like a rude or condescending way towards anybody. What Anne just did is describe the past like 3 Adele albums that I think all won Grammys.
But it's effective, and so if you're thinking, what's the emotion and the mood I'm trying to set with these lyrics, and is it pretty sparse or is it pretty heavy? Is the percussion really what I'm hearing? Even the like trudging work song kind of thing, you've got the really heavy beat where it sounds like people are marching, or things where you just have like a voice and some kind of bowed string, that kind of thing. So yeah, playing with that is I think where you can really have a lot of fun with your instrumentation.
I agree, and I think sort of even though I just had my parting thoughts, but I have one final parting thought.
Excellent.
As you're adding instrumentation, add one at a time. Like the listener only has the capacity to hear so many things, and if you are doing a verse that then builds to a full band thing, build it slowly. Don't just have a bunch of stuff hit at once, because then nobody knows what to pay attention to. add 1 to 2 things at a time, and if you have more than 6 parts going, some of them can probably be cut, because who can listen to all that? I mean, seriously, like
that's true. We kind of get information and and
Yeah.
sensory overload. Yeah.
I know guitar players you can write, and I'm guilty of this. You can write 10 cool guitar parts for that chorus. We need like 2.
So yeah, I would say yeah, exactly. Start simple. If you feel like building things up, try it from there. And a lot of times you go back to the simpler version. So
All right. And I think this has made me think that, and at some point we should do a song arranging for singer-songwriters. Just like you got your
I think that'd be cool.
you got your acoustic guitar, you're at an open mic. How can your songs not sound repetitive? So I think that might be a
Right.
future video.
That might be a future video, and we can look at arranging for solo versus band, and exactly. Yeah.
Wow, this arrangement can of worms. It's almost like it's one of the most important skills. All right. I'm Zach Sloan.
All right.
That's Ann Luna. Break Free Blog Vlog. Peace.